Hello everyone and welcome to Finding the Trend. My name is David and I have Mike here and we're going to talk to you guys about what's going on with Tesla, right Mike? Something's been going on, like 2 weeks of crazy volatility and there's lots of reasons. I don't know them, but I'm curious, so Mike's going to help explain it so that we all know what's going on with Tesla. So take it away, Mike.
I mean, we've had quite some huge volatility over the past 2 weeks. It's dropped down quite significantly. It has dropped down to 330.
Oh wow!
As low as that. It split. When it split, it was around 400, and then it climbed up all the way to 498. Then dropped back down. It's been kind of on a roller coaster ever since. What happened was a longtime Tesla shareholder slashed their stake. They still own a lot of the stock. They actually are one of the largest shareholders outside of Elon. They had to rebalance their stock because Tesla had gone up so much since they bought it that they have like a limit for how much they need to have their stock invested in Tesla. They can only hold about 10%. That's why they need to sell. That should be a normal everyday thing. But a lot of retail investors saw this who didn't necessarily know that these institutional buyers needed to keep a certain percentage. And so they thought like, oh, okay, this is bad news. But actually, he's very bullish on the stock. He says if he didn't have to sell, he would just continue to keep it.
Right. But you know, at the same time, that's kind of like a snowball effect, right? Because the fact that he sells it and then people that don't know more about it realize, oh, this is bad. So they start selling. Plus the combination of them selling and him selling just pushes the stock price down even more.
Totally. And then it's kind of this perfect storm because a lot of people got frustrated because Tesla also introduced a $5 billion stock offering. Which would give the impression that there was going to be a stock dilution as well as the S&P deciding not to include them this quarter.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they won't include it in the future. They just aren't going to include it this quarter.
Right. But everything was kind of priced in, right? Because they were going to be part of the S&P 500.
Right.
People said, okay, that must mean it's a stable company. So they put more value into it. So when that didn't happen right away, it kind of lost the value because it was already priced in and it shouldn't be priced in at this point.
Right. We can sort of see here that they completed their 5 billion stock offering. Now, keep in mind the stock offering was only 3 days ago. So they have very significant institutional buyers that are willing to just snap this stock up for, multi-year investments.
Yep.
And it's pretty amazing that they have that. What's sort of driving the price now is this expectation of battery day. So yeah, I mean, obviously that's on everyone's mind. Just a little bit of background though. Elon Musk obviously has been going over to Giga Berlin. They basically have been building it at breakneck speed, which is really amazing. He actually talks a little bit about, why it's so urgent for Giga Berlin to finish as quickly as possible. Like, why is it so urgent? So let's just hear a little bit about what he has to say there.
It's very important for climate that we move quickly. So it matters to okay. No, but I think it's very important that we accelerate the transition to sustainable energy and that we move as quickly as possible. And so this is the reason for the sense of urgency. And I've been saying this for a long time. I think we'll do maybe more than cars here. We'll also probably be building some battery and cells and some other things here. So that'll be good for stationary storage of wind and solar. And essentially the three elements that are needed for a sustainable energy future are sustainable energy generation, energy storage, and sustainable transport, electric cars. And eventually electric aircraft and electric. Ironically, everything can go electric except rocket.
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot to break down there, right? Like he was saying, they're going to be producing all sorts of things at Giga Berlin, and it's pretty amazing. They already have finished Giga Shanghai in under 12 months. So an entire factory, larger than a football field, went up in under 12 months. Way larger. One of the largest buildings in the world. And Giga Berlin is expected to go up even quicker than that, and then Giga Texas even quicker than that. So it's quite amazing. He mentioned something about like even building electric aircraft, which that would be honestly possible if there's these kind of like battery breakthroughs that are happening. So yeah, it's very promising stuff. And actually, it's mentioned in his master plan is honestly just amazing. They want to cover all major forms of terrestrial transport. What does that mean? That means it could be trains, trucks,
Airplanes.
urban transport. Yeah, like all
Boats,
forms. Which
submarines.
submarines? Yeah, I mean it could be. Yeah, so very promising. I mean, those are definitely not markets that are at all in other automakers' domains. And so this is kind of why you see Tesla also be valued way more than a traditional automaker, because it has some very large ambitions. And
Heck
people
yeah.
believe that they can do it.
Yes.
And this isn't even accounting for autonomy. That's an altogether different ball field, where that has the potential to make Tesla a software-based profit margin with like potentially as much as 80%. And for context, like the traditional automakers, they only have a profit margin around 10 to 15%. So it will be a substantial increase in profit margin.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
80%. Yeah, because the debate is always like, is Tesla a software company or are they an auto company, right? Because if they're an auto company, then they're not supposed to be growing that much that fast. Whereas if you start thinking about software, they can grow much faster because, like you said, the profit margin is like 80%. You make the software once, and as much as deployment and usage, it just brings in value without adding resource.
Right.
Typically.
Right.
Nice.
So it's very exciting. Their current profit margins are around 20%. So they literally have to just flip a switch and suddenly their profits just skyrocket.
And so will your investment if you time it right.
Full disclosure, yes, I do have some Tesla stock. So obviously it would be great. Obviously, they are doing extremely well. And, so here's some parts of Battery Day preview, right? Like they recently leaked this is a leaked photo of what you're looking here as a battery cell, a giant battery cell. So like normally a battery cell that Tesla has is like the size of this bottle, basically, of hand sanitizer.
Okay.
So it's pretty small.
Yep.
But this is more like a fist size, it looks like, from the photo.
Right.
So it's pretty amazing what they've been coming up with, being out of the box thinking. And they were saying that there's several innovations here. One is like this technology called tabless battery, where it reduces the resistance so that the current in the battery doesn't have to travel as far. And so the resistance of the overall battery is reduced. Thereby, the battery produces less heat.
Yep.
And it can deliver more current and more energy density because it is less wasteful. Right. And not only that, they've also increased the size of the battery. So because of how physics and volume works, you can double the size, but that quadruples the volume.
Yes.
And they've actually made, because of these packaging improvements, basically, for example, they are making some amazing gains in their battery technology. That also makes it cheaper because they don't have to produce as many cells. So all of that is combining to make it really quite promising.
Nice. I'm excited about that. So we don't know anything about it technically yet until Battery Day. That's when it gets announced and all the information is going to be public.
Yeah, I mean that's just one of the things that Tesla, like Elon was actually saying this on Twitter about this exact battery.
Whoa.
someone was saying, yeah, it will be very insane. And then he's like practically confirming
it will be very insane. Oh my gosh. Look at all the thumbs up and hearts and reshare.
It will be very insane. It's also increasingly clear that Tesla knows very much. This is the original battery that I was talking about.
It's like almost like a large AA battery.
Yeah. Basically, that's the current state of the art, which is when
which
you
is
think
crazy.
about how many batteries go into a car, like that's just like seems insane that you had to pack so many of those batteries into a car.
Yeah.
Obviously now they have the technology and infrastructure and the know-how to make their own batteries. They have been for some time now acquiring several battery manufacturers, and Maxwell, for example, is one of them with their dry battery electrode technology. And that allows them to give a even lower cost of production because of how the batteries are manufactured. They're basically using dry electrodes. So normally when you have a battery, you have to use all these different chemicals to make the battery, and then you have to put it into an oven basically. And then that oven takes time, and it's just a very messy like way of doing things. Obviously it'd be great if you could just produce the battery with basically a dry electrode, right?
Yep, just assemble it and have it
just assemble it and then just ship it out.
Right.
And that's what they're doing.
Yep.
So, all these like little seemingly incremental improvements are like coming down to really a revolution.
Yep.
And obviously they're getting better and better at automation in their own factory too. So yeah, all very amazing. Here's the tabless battery patent that was published prior to Battery Day. Elon Musk actually said it's way more important than it sounds. So yeah, obviously very, very important. Other things about Battery Day, we might get a announcement of Tesla Model S Plaid.
What? That looks sick.
This is the prototype of the Model S Plaid on the Nuremberg racetrack.
Whoa, no way. It's a sedan that's going to beat like sports cars and supercars.
Well, so current sedans, like they only have 2 motors. This has 3.
Oh, wow.
It will be very quick. One other thing that because of these batteries that could like, it's just, sorry, I'm just getting so excited because these batteries could go into like the Plaid Model S and then also make their way into like a Plaid
Roadster.
Which is just so exciting. I mean, they've already confirmed that the Tesla Model S Plaid will be serving as a test bed for the powertrain of the Roadster. So it's no doubt that like, I think whatever goes into the Model S Plaid will probably go into the Roadster as well.
Or an enhanced version.
Enhanced version, possibly.
It's like when they had the original Tesla Roadster, that technology got incorporated into the Model S, improved much upon that. So now it's like the opposite. They're using Model S as a test bed for the next Roadster.
Right. Yeah. And obviously, they're Elon Musk is no stranger to superlatives. Some small rocket thrusters arranged around the car. Maybe we'll even allow the Tesla to fly. So yeah, it's definitely a very cool car.
Yep.
Yeah. What else? They might announce what their production is for the Terafactories that they're having in the U.S. So Giga Austin is also going to be known as like the Terafactory, and that's because Tesla wants to advance what Elon said in that video, right? Like to advance the state of the art, to advance sustainability as fast as possible, to get to producing as many batteries as possible. They're going to need to produce a whole lot of batteries and a whole lot of capacity.
So not giga, it's tera.
It's on the order of terawatts. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So that would be a very interesting thing, and also just maybe a little tidbits about how they're producing the Cybertruck would be kind of cool too.
So wait, so that article, so how does that article affect like the stock of the Tesla stock? Like how does it affect the pricing of it? Just the fact that the article is out, or is it going to be updated with more info on battery day?
Here's the thing, like I think like a lot of people just, they don't necessarily like read Tesla news.
Okay.
I mean, they follow the company. There's no doubt, but like, there's all these different like sites and like little leaks that go on, and on all these like electric tech, for example, right, which was earlier with the Maxwell stuff and the whole battery leak. You know, that just sort of happens, and obviously that's off the rumor mill, so that's not like gospel or confirmed, but yeah, I think it's a fairly high probability that it is real.
Got it. So
yeah, I mean, there's like if that's true, like, man, it is actually quite a revolution. I think like it's kind of game over for the other automakers. Like they're not even producing their own batteries, much less electric cars.
Yep.
So yeah, it's hard for them to catch up. It's like, do they license it, or do they just go out of business, or I don't know. Because they clearly cannot compete. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same parallel as like someone trying to compete with Apple, right? You can kind of compete with them, but they have such much knowledge and much mass in the market already that it's either you license the technology from them, or you just don't even compete because they're such a big giant already. So this will be great.
Yeah. Yeah, and one last tidbit, which may not be like something that gets announced really at Battery Day. It might be something that is like one day, but like what would be really cool is like if he just sort of gives an update on like the Tesla like energy a little bit, and
the solar panels.
Yeah, solar panels, and what their future plans are for Tesla energy, because obviously batteries are a huge part of that, but also solar panels are a huge part of that. And if you think about it, actually the major consumer of most electric bills is air conditioning and heating and cooling, right?
Yep.
So that's something that Tesla has, or at least Elon Musk has said that they will probably get into the business of doing, is probably they will make air conditioning units for the home.
That's going to be revolutionary, because AC units have been the same technology for like decades.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the AC unit, the cycle, the heat compressor, the pump, whatever it is, right? It's been the same technology for so long, inefficient as we know it. So this will be an amazing leap forward of already a highly advanced company. Yeah. So it's just like the company just got even better, right?
Yeah. So just continuing to snowball like their goal of sustainability. So yeah, it's I don't know. I'm just really excited about Battery Day. I can't wait.
Yeah, so like I guess that makes sense why the stock price is so high, because it's high. Right now, you might think it's high for one company, but then you say, okay, well, what about if you include Tesla as multiple companies, a battery company, a car company, a software company, a solar panel company, a home efficiency company, right? So if you combine that, that's like dividing that stock price into 5. Then now it becomes really cheap.
Think about it, like they could take over utilities at some point too.
Yes,
because
exactly.
With solar panels, you don't need a utility.
Nope. Well, yeah, solar panel plus a battery pack, right?
And that means oil companies are now obsoleted. So do you include the market cap of oil companies, which are
Which is
one of the
huge.
which is one of the most valuable, companies in the world already.
Companies. This is one company would take them all over, right? If they can
Yeah.
dominate the market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that regards, this company can 10 times, 100 times fold, right? Because of the impact that it's bringing to our day-to-day lives,
I mean, that's
to
kind
our
of why,
economy.
like ARK Invest, for example, they say that they have like a price target of 7,000, even post split.
What? It's crazy.
Yes, 7,000 post split. Um, the current stock price is 7,000.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
for their
Yeah.
price target. That's because they're including all these different cases, right?
Yep.
Autonomy, they're including energy, they're including solar, they're including the batteries,
Battery,
they're including
software, everything.
software, they're including the cars, obviously.
Yep.
And
Oh
one
my
other
gosh.
like really
That's
cool
crazy.
thing that
Yeah.
could just kind of get a name drop mention
Yes.
is like
Oh, JB.
the
Yes.
battery recycling venture that JP Straubel, the
Yes.
Tesla co-founder, recently started. Actually, really surprising because Jeff Bezos has been known to trade barbs with Elon, so it's really surprising that they found a mutual partner. It's called Redwood Materials, the battery recycling company. These are kind of groundbreaking news. Like
Yep.
if batteries, like this is actually one of the things that a lot of people detract from batteries, criticize about batteries too, is like, okay, yes, like these are big heavy things, like great, they're great for the environment once they're here, but then what happens after they're used? Well, now if they're recycled easily, then there really isn't like a problem. Like it just
Right.
goes right back into the ecosystem. So that's actually really important, and that's actually really smart on Tesla to get ahead of that.
Yep. I mean, one of the reasons why Apple products sell really well is because they really tap into the people that are environmentally conscious, right? How their products are always fully recyclable, their batteries are recyclable, the process is energy efficient. So I love the thinking, especially right now with all this stuff going around in the world. Some people are saying it's contributed to the climate change, which is a result of like pollution. And we definitely want to avoid that as much as possible. And I think in Elon's video earlier, when he's talking about how building out the Germany factory, is because he wants to help reduce the environmental impact ASAP, because it's getting out of hand. Like there's so many people in this world doing so much, and Mother Nature can take so much before it starts to complain with wildfires, tornadoes, hurricane, crazy heat waves, you name it, right?
Right.
We can get toast if we don't take care of Mother Nature.
Right. So,
Yep.
there's a lot. They're definitely on the right side of the climate change spectrum, and I think they'll do extremely well going into the future. Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
Their stock price can only really go up from here, in my opinion.
Well, with a grain of salt, because Tesla is an extremely volatile stock. We all know in 10 years it's going to be up.
In 10 years, in 10 years it will almost guaranteed be up.
Yes, but don't buy it today. Just expect tomorrow that it'll go up. It might drop 20% tomorrow.
Of course, no one can tell what the market thinks like the next day, right?
Yes.
But there is definitely value in investing in it, because long term, you will, even if you buy like a few shares, like that is a huge increase. Right now it's around 400, so okay, a little bit less than 1,000. I think a little more than 1,000%.
Okay, well that's
still a huge amount.
Right. Just one last question, Mike. What were you thinking during the time where we had the pandemic that's happened and Tesla pre-split stock was like at 250? Why was that not like an amazing value? Why were people thinking it's going to go down even more? Why were people not just investing like crazy?
Yeah, I think it's really like, if we go back to that chart, right? Like Like it
Ouch.
did drop. Like,
Yeah.
but then again, like everyone kind of dropped. If you compare
Exactly.
like Apple, for example, right,
Yeah.
to Tesla, then really kind of they had a similar drop.
Yeah. But Tesla dropped a lot more, I think.
No,
Yeah.
actually, Apple. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Tesla
did
dropped
drop
a lot.
Tesla did drop a lot more, but I think that's because a lot of people assumed that the pandemic would hit them.
Yes, and they
A
might
lot
get
of
wiped
people
out,
presumed
right?
That a lot of people bought into that bear theory that Tesla is not a profitable car company, and therefore it's not going to do well. But that's kind of looking at the glass half full, and really actually more than that. It's looking backwards. It's looking into the past.
Yeah.
It's not looking into the future, which is where you should be looking if you're looking to invest in the stock market, because the stock market at minimum is trying to predict 3 months into the future.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's like looking at an iPhone and saying, well, actually, I think the BlackBerry technology is better.
But this actually did create a great, and it's unfortunate that I didn't get into it, but it did create a great, opportunity for those who believed in the company hugely to get in at that price.
Yeah, I was literally moments away from actually buying, but I just thought, okay, I'll give it a couple more days for it to drop more, but it went back up so fast. I didn't buy any. I was just waiting for it to go down. And the reason why I didn't buy, because it went down so fast, I figured like, and tomorrow it might drop another 50%. So when things are volatile like that, no matter if it's volatile going up or going down, it's scary. And that's why people say you can't really time the market, because your mindset, unless you're a very experienced trader, your mindset's all messed up when it's dropping like crazy, like trying to catch a flying knife. You don't know how much farther it's going to go down, but when it bounces up,
I think that's the thing. Like you have to take a long-term view of it.
Yeah.
And I'm very different than most people. Is I take a long-term view of the stock and actually say, okay, well, what are the long-term fundamentals?
Right. Cool. Well, thank you, Mike, for this incredible detailed explanation and hypothesis and predictions. I'm right there with you. Like, these are very convincing headlines, and I'm a future-looking person too. I see a lot of potential with this company, and let's see where Tesla takes us in the long-term future. And I think we'll be very happy to see them making an impact on our environment as well as technology.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. This was Finding the Trend. Thank you, Michael, myself, David. If you like what you see here, remember to subscribe to our channel, click the like button to support our channel. And also, all the links of the material that Mike presented will be down in the description. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you. Take care. Stay healthy. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.